say that tonight I'm going to be showing you the assault on free speech in a way which you might not have seen it before. And not just free speech, but freedom of the press. The freedom of speech and the freedom of the press and all that stuff, it all goes together. It all goes together. So when you say I have my freedom of speech, you can insert press in that same sentence. Now, freedom of the press would be people that are out there in public tracking down a story, seeing where it leads, where it might go, taking pictures, taking videos. Didn't matter where, as long as they were in a public area and they weren't on private property, breaking into something, getting video. Supreme Court ruled a long time ago when they started trying to crack down on alternative medias or presses, alternative news. They tried to censor or shut people down with this. Well, you're not a credentialed press. Where are your credentials? And the Supreme Court, after they'd heard this case of people saying, hey, anybody is press, Supreme Court said, you know, you're right. Everybody is the press, and everybody has the right to free press. Everybody has the right to journalism. Everybody has that right. And then people were getting locked up and shit for photographing stuff that they could see right from their sidewalk. And the Supreme Court had to rule again, and they said, no, look here. You cannot trespass the eyes. So anything that you can see from the sidewalk or public property, you can't be trespassed off of public property because of what your eyes can see. So they had to be very, 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 very specific about what they were saying, because they knew how the problems would exist. So they said, no, you cannot trespass the eyes. If you're on public property, you cannot be chased off of public property because you're a journalist. Definitely not. That would include courthouses. That would include police stations. That would include all government facilities, all state facilities, all. I'm not saying that you can walk inside of a prison and you got the right to walk through the front gate of the prison and start interviewing prisoners. But you damn sure are allowed to stand out on the fucking sidewalk beside the place and photograph anything you want. Take a video of anything you want. Now, this is a multi-threaded broadcast tonight, so I want you to think about a lot of things as we're going through it. One of those things is what kind of information the authorities like to collect on you, how they approach you to shut you down, and how this is not only a systemic problem, it is a systematic problem. They have built a system when it comes to freedom of the press. They have built a system to escalate, I should say. Because as we know, the state does not know the gear reverse or neutral. They only know drive. And if you drove your company and all you knew was fucking hammer down, eventually you're going to crash your company into a big ass wall. Because when times need you to stop for a red light, you need to stop for a red light. So you have to have the ability to either stop moving forward, and you also have to have the ability to reverse course. If you're a private company and you make a bad decision, a bad policy, but you intended that policy as whatever, but it wasn't supposed to be bad for you. There is no law that says once a company makes a policy, they can't back up from that policy. But the government seems like that is the law with government. They're not allowed to actually stop, number one. And number two, they're not allowed to put their gears in reverse and back up. So therefore, every time that they should have stopped, they escalate times 3 to 5. Instead of an escalation factor of 1, when they know that they should stop, they escalate to 5. And when they realize that escalation to 5 was a horrible, horrible thing, and they should have slammed on the brakes and threw it into reverse, they escalate to 100. Because the state cannot be wrong. And it can't be wrong for a variety of reasons. Through a variety of time frames in the history of you. So right now, you got an economy in the United States in decline, number one. The petrodollar is all but gone. Your ability to trade with people overseas that are into free trade is gone. You're in a state of constant and continual war all over the globe, hunting for invisible terrorists that don't exist except for those that are created by the same government. Your Fed is printing money at alarming rates. You as a people, per person, each individual right now owe $60,000 at birth and counting. Your government loses trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and multiple tens of trillions of dollars. And you owe it. You have a system now, a fascistic, seemingly fascistic system where you have monopolies that control pretty much everything that you do. All your communication is monopolized. All your power is monopolized. And the biggest way to boost anybody's economy, number one, is be at peace. The second biggest way to increase GDP of any economy is to make energy affordable. People don't build factories in the United States because the labor is so much more expensive. People don't build factories in the United States anymore because they can't afford the fucking power bill. You as an individual rely on so much telecommunications data, it's not even funny. You have very monopolistic corporations that control your data. And through net neutrality, which was an executive order more or less sent over to the FCC, they told these telecommunication companies, look, the wire that's on the poles and the wire that's in the ground, it's been there for 30 years. It's already been paid for. There's no need for you to charge these exorbitant rates for traffic. Your infrastructure has been paid for a long time. Why? You are a service. You are a monopoly. Just like if you were selling water. I don't have a choice as to who I go and where I go for any of these things. And a fascistic society is where the state colludes with the corporations against the people's interest. Politicians get kickbacks. You lose money. Yeah, but Trump signed a tax bill. I'm feeling it already. That tax bill that Trump signed, man, I can't tell you. I can't even tell you how this this is another Obama recovery. All you Trump fans. This is just another bailout for the corporations. Yeah, but Q Anonymous said this. You seen anybody in handcuffs yet? Anybody except people that work for fucking Trump. No? Yeah, I didn't think so, because I haven't either. I haven't even seen any real investigations. Oh, I've heard about them, and I've heard about all this stuff that's going on, but you know what? You have a better chance of proving Richard Clark is actually Michael Jackson than you have in proving anything that any of these pundits on YouTube are telling you. And again, they are the most promoted. We already know who they promote. We already know who they allow to monetize. You go over there to Lionel Nation's channel. Boy, he is all, man, that dude collects every time he does a live stream with his little super chat thing. That dude collects $1,000 on every stream that he does, seems like. I can't even monetize my channel. You might say, well, Jeff, he doesn't do the things that you do. Absolutely, he doesn't do and say the things that I do. He does and says the things the government wants him to say. And he makes a lot of money doing it. Stephen Molyneux, same thing. Sticks and Hammer 666, same thing. They are all the most promoted people on YouTube. You might as well call them CBS, NBC, ABC. If anybody out there does not have moderators, say something in chat now. I'll give you a minute. I don't want anybody timing out. We ain't got that many people hanging out. Now, your freedom of press and your freedom of speech, two different things. Two different things. I already have been going over freedom of speech. Censorship. It could be basic censorship. Like how you're allowed to actually broadcast. And what you're looking at on my channel, one of my channels, is a whole lot of blocked worldwide shit. Some copyright shit, but here's the thing. It's a difference between a copyright and a block. A copyright is a strike on your channel which does not allow you to broadcast. If you got a strike on your channel, you can't broadcast. You can upload videos, but you can't broadcast. And when you do get a copyright infraction, 99.9% of the time, all they do is monetize. The copyright holder monetizes your shit. 99.9% of the time. And there are. Now, you can make it 100% of the time if you play the right shit. You play the right shit. Like, if I started playing, I don't know, somebody like Elton John. Anything from the UK. Anything at all from the UK, from a UK artist. Anything at all. You play it on your channel, you're going to get a strike. They might just monetize it, but big stuff, Ozzy Osbourne and Pink Floyd and stuff like that, that you get strikes. They'll take your shit out. But you hear me playing a lot of music that I don't own and I don't have permission to use. And what they do is they go back and they monetize the video for you in their name. A block is different. A block is when you have not been monetized, but you've just been blocked. You didn't get a community violation. Your video is just being blocked in either all over or in some parts. I experienced censorship on a level in which I've never seen another broadcaster show. And it's funny because it seems like nobody, but nobody, except just us few people that are here. Now, I could understand if I had 1,000 viewers right now watching me, listening to me, how that might get some people upset, want to censor, want to block. But understand, it's not the amount of people that you reach. It's not the amount. It is what you say. It is how you say it. It is a lot of things, but what it is not is what you might have thought. When you have channels, content being promoted on YouTube, they're in the program. If you don't think that these people are there for a fucking reason, you're stupid. If you honestly think these people ain't working and getting paid by the fucking government, you're stupid. You think the government and their fucking online shills and online broadcasters, do you think that they're just going to be anonymous channels that nobody's ever heard about? Never related to any? You're stupid. Just stupid. If that's what you think, you're stupid. If you think that a guy who has over 1 million subs gets 500,000 views on every stream he puts up, if you don't think that he's being promoted on YouTube, I'm going to show you some things tonight, and I want to show you a systematic and systemic assault on your free speech, intermingled a little bit with how the police state interacts with you, or how the state wishes to interact with you on a citizen state level. We already know what they do online. We already know what they do online. And there's a lot of people out there in the dirt, on the ground, that are working just as hard as anybody you know, but even harder. Because in order to expose a tyrant in order to expose the level in which your basic freedoms are being infringed upon. They're willing to be arrested, beaten, possibly killed, tortured, kidnapped, or otherwise. Now, if I was to say, well, it only happened once in a lifetime, they're all bad. No. See, I'm only going to show you a smidgen tonight that might possibly take hours. I could do this every day, all day, for months and months and months on end. I could drive this nail so far fucking home, it'd be buried in the dirt underneath the board you were nailing it in. All the way down to China. And you'd say, well, Jeff, why are they putting the fucking the hooks in everybody? What is with all this data collection? What is with all this police state? What is with all this soaking the poor and all this bullshit? What is it all about? How and why do they need to do this? They don't need to do this. They can just go to peace and prosperity. They can just stop. They can just back up a little, Jeff. Obviously, Trump's going to back it all up, Jeff. They're doing what they're doing because they expect it all to crash. And if they don't have a system in place, a most competent war system. That's the systems that they build. They don't build systems for peace. The FBI, the CIA, your state and local law enforcement, all your politicians, they don't do anything for peace. But they do everything for war. Whether it be war in the Middle East, whether it be war right here on your own streets, when you don't even know it's a war on you, they have brought it to your doorstep and made you accept it, made you lay down for it, made you understand that even your basic rights, basic stuff that don't even matter, like what you say, what you take a picture of, they got to step on that now. All the laws that they have made, whether it be asset forfeiture, whether it be mandatory minimums, whether it be Homeland Security bullshit that says they can lock you up in Guantanamo and not tell you a fucking word about why they're doing it. They have modeled your police state after ISIS. Or ISIS was modeled after your police state. And they did it while you supported them. They did it while you cheered them on. They did it while you marveled at their battlefield uniforms on the street. You clapped for them as they did martial law and Boston bombing, flooded the streets. You praised them when they made a free speech zone. Don't come take away our guns. Yeah, we'll give you freedom of speech, we'll give you freedom of press, but you better not come take our guns. Understand, freedom of speech and the ability to own guns go hand in hand. They should have been in the same fucking amendment, because each one gives the other teeth. If you don't have freedom of speech, you enforce it with your guns. If you don't have the freedom of guns, or they're working on this, you speak up about it. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You can't have free speech with the inability to own guns. Anybody that thinks they have the ability to speak freely in a nation that they live in, but they don't have the ability to own a gun, because the state knows no boundaries, the state knows no limits, they do not know the word stop, and they definitely don't fucking know the word reverse course. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at chat. Yeah, we'll be here for a while, Zach. There's a lot of people that are out there right now, and they get a lot of support from the community that they are broadcasting to. And I applaud their work. They have the most dangerous hobbies in America. You think jumping off a fucking bridge with a parachute or a rubber band strapped around your ankle is dangerous? How about hang gliding? Think that's dangerous? Parachuting? Think that's dangerous? Bet you it's not as dangerous as pointing a camera at a cop. Bet you it's not as dangerous as being on vacation in Vegas, getting drunk with your girlfriend, only to find yourself being shot in the hallway while drunk in your hotel in Las Vegas. Your police state has made their power unlimited. You can't sue them when they do wrong. You get no justice when they do wrong. In fact, if possible, they will blame you for their own mistakes. And they generally do. They blame stuff that the government does while saying you did it. They blame anything and everything on anything except them. They're not willing to look in the mirror, not even once. None of them. They rely on the state as a generational welfare recipient relies on their check every month. Now we're talking generational welfare recipients. Cops, judges, prosecutors, investigators, FBI agents, CIA agents. And they milk on the tit of government. They nurse on the tit of government. And they will never tell that titty stop. Now I gotta go silent here so y'all don't get an echo. And if I lag in between here and there, I'm sorry. But I'll queue up all these videos to the place they need to be, so you don't have to spend a lot of time going through all this material yourself. If you want to, that's fine. The videos I want to show you tonight belong to News Now Houston. News Now Houston has been doing this for a long time. A long time. And he's not the only one. There's been people that's been doing it longer. And there's a lot of them now all over the United States. And they're all getting treated the same way. They all put up and stream the same shit. And buddy, let me tell you what. You can tell. If it's nationwide what they're doing, you think, well, they're all trained by Israelis. Whatever. It's not who they're trained by. It's what they were trained to do. Fine, if you want to fucking say, just stop on that. Yeah, it's all Israeli training. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's only Israeli training. You can't stop at Jew. You have to explore why you're stopping. You have to ask the question, am I legal here? All the time. So here we go. I'm going to have to put my headset on to see if, or actually, I want to go silent here. You'll still be able to see me, but you won't be able to hear me. If you see me pointing like this and running my mouth and you don't hear me, that's because I forgot to turn my mic back on. But we're going to go through some stuff. Now the reason why let me say this. The reason why I call the police ISIS in America is because they're modeled the same way. The law does not apply to them. Just like when ISIS rolls up into a town, man, the current law means nothing. The law is what they say, not what the law is. You could say, here's the law we have. They don't want to see it. They would rather shoot you in the fucking head than you spout law to their caliphate. They're the ones that make the law. They're the enforcers of the law. They make the law. They are judge, jury, and executioner. And damn it, you better start fucking learning this shit. You better learn who you're a slave to, because it ain't just the fucking banks.
Okay.
Actually, it's an FBI office.
Okay.
So why are you taking photos?
Because we have cameras.
Okay. Well, I want to be nice about it because, we don't want to call the police, and if it's something simple that you can answer.
What was the question?
Why are you taking photos?
Because we have cameras.
Okay. All right then. That's fine.
Why is that? Have we done something wrong?
Just in case.
What do you mean by that?
Just in case.
Just in case of what?
Just in case something happens.
What?
Don't know. You're taking pictures up on a building. I need to know why you're doing it. Need to identify you. Who are you?
Have we done something wrong?
My name's Ron Bratcher. I'm a special agent with the FBI. Who are you?
The guy taking pictures.
Can you call Mary PD for me, please?
Do you think we've done something wrong?
No, you're not doing anything wrong, but the policy is, if you're going to take pictures of my building, I just need to know who's doing it.
Whose policy is that?
That's the government's policy, sir.
He said it's
Are we
policy.
attorneys
He
now?
said-
Hey,
he
look,
said it's
guys,
policy.
guys, I'm
He
just
said it's
asking who
policy.
you are.
I'm just asking a question.
I'm just asking who you are.
He said it's their policy.
Oh, it's their policy then?
That's
Look, you're
not a
taking
law.
pictures of our building. If our building was to burn down tonight, we would like to know who was out here taking pictures of it. Now, is there a reason you're out here taking pictures? That's all I'm asking. Not trying to...
They never walked into the building to ask them who they were.
Why you're here? What do you need? Can I help you?
No, we're good.
Then why are you taking pictures of my building?
Was that your building?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's also your building. It's also her building.
So does that mean I can take pictures of it if it's my building?
No.
You just told me it was my building.
Let me rephrase. Yes, you can, but I'd like to know who you are.
Well, I don't know that really constitutes knowing who I am.
Sure it does.
So are you saying we're obligated to tell you who we are?
Come on, knock it off. Come on, just tell me who you are.
Are you saying we're obligated to tell you who we are?
You're not obligated to do anything.
Okay, then I don't really want to identify myself if we're not obligated.
Very well.
Okay.
I'm just going to stand here and we're
But
going to...
you have said 3 times now we have not committed any
Would you
crimes.
stop already?
No, I'm making sure you said that.
Would you stop already? You're being kind of an ass.
No.
Just stop. I'm just trying to find out who you are, and if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. I'm going to follow you till I figure out who you are.
Well, I've got all night.
So do I. Sounds bright.
Yeah, are you sure you really want to block my camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I'm real sure I do. Because the same right that you
We're on
can...
public property.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to on public property.
You're right. We have the right to photograph.
Yes, you do. And I have the right to stand here with my hand up.
But you are intentionally obstructing the
Yes, I
view and intentionally infringing on my First Amendment right to take pictures in public.
Take all the pictures you want.
Who's your supervisor? I'd like to get that recorded.
Apparently it's the guy in the car.
No, what's his name? I need to know who to,
Why don't you tell me your name, I'll tell you
No,
his.
that's not how this works.
Sure it is.
I need to know who to file a complaint with.
I gave you a business card.
Doesn't have your supervisor's name on it.
Well, got the FBI on it. You can call the Director Comey. It'll get down to us.
No, that's not going to work.
Guys, I'm just trying to be real simple here. Why are you taking pictures of this building, and who are you?
Neither question deserves an answer.
Okay, so when I go out in front of your house and take pictures of your home...
From a public road, you can do that.
Yes, I can.
We were in front of your home.
Yes, you are.
We were not in front of your
I
house.
spend more time here than I do at home.
Yeah, but we also pay for this building.
So do I.
Right.
So does
but
that
you
person
don't
there.
pay. You don't pay for my home.
Indirectly.
Hey, you do realize that if someone comes out here and says that you are alarming them by filming them, you can be charged with disorderly conduct because they feel like they're a victim of a crime.
Do you believe that? Do you really believe that?
That's
This is a First Amendment protected activity.
I'm just
We are
telling you
taking
what you
pictures
have.
in public.
I am
If
telling
you're
you.
filming somebody and they feel alarmed or threatened by that,
We're not
you can be
filming
charged
anybody
with
that
disorderly
doesn't have the right to be filmed.
I am telling you, officer, and I'm telling them. I feel alarmed
You have no expectation of privacy.
that they are filming my buildings without identifying who they are. I have concern for the building and the residents of that building.
Are you going to charge it?
So here's the deal. We have a victim of disorderly conduct.
Who's that?
Somebody at the FBI office is alarmed and disturbed by your behaviors. So at this point, you all 3 are under arrest. So
Okay,
that means you
for
need
what
to stop
crime?
and take
Let me get it, just look at this. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you for being cooperative with us.
You guys didn't do anything to me. I got nothing against you guys.
And we've got nothing against you. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shit. Did you get one of my...
You look a lot healthier there.
What? It's just a good picture. You know, finally, they now take your driver's license picture and they have you take your glasses off. I've never had a good driver's license picture in my life. That is the first one. And did you? Yeah. Can I get some more Gatorade? That's all I want. And you can use that to run me if you need to. To license.
You're clear.
I'm sorry.
We've got additional addresses. If you're in the Northeast doing surveillance out there too.
Do what now?
Surveillance?
Surveillance. So, if you are parachuted in, there's an Army airfield nearby.
There is. It's pretty far away.
Well, I'm dressed for a nice walk, so it's okay. Now, I will tell you as a courtesy, if you will indicate anybody coming and going that is specifically undercover, I will ensure that they do not get published. If you do not indicate them to me, there's a good possibility that they may be published.
Published where?
Wherever I publish them. Tell you what. So, I've made that offer as a courtesy. Okay? So it's up to you guys whether you take advantage of that offer or not. You don't need to whisper, we're all friends here.
I ask that you don't videotape me, please.
You may ask.
For what reason are you taking video?
Okay, you want me to just tell you the truth?
Sure.
I'm an investigative journalist here to gather matters of interest for the public.
What matters of interest to the public are our gates.
You just told me that there's an event going on here.
Which anybody can read about in the paper.
I'm not just anybody.
I'm going to ask you to stop.
And I don't really like to read.
You can stand here if you'd like, but I'm going to ask you to stop videotaping for security purposes, for the safety of the people coming in and out of that gate. I'm asking you nicely to put the camera away, please.
Well, that doesn't sound very nice. That actually sounds kind of menacing.
It's a question.
It's not a question. That was a statement.
About it. I just told you, for the safety of the individuals coming in and out of that gate, I'm going to ask you to please put the camera away.
And you know, I already indicated to you, if you've got somebody that works undercover here, just let me know.
I won't. Told you. Okay. Now I can articulate that it's a security issue, you being here videotaping, and if I need to, I will call local law enforcement to have them address the situation.
What situation are they going to address?
A safety issue.
A safety issue.
People coming in and out of that gate.
Well, I think that
video of them.
I think that by calling
the
local
vehicle they're in causes a safety concern.
Is their vehicle classified? I mean, I have a security clearance. Is their vehicle classified? Let's see if it's above my
security clearance.
Let's see if it's above my clearance or not.
Do you mind if I see some identification?
I do mind.
Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Well, you wouldn't tell me yours. Why should I tell you mine?
You got my name right there.
I only wanted the first name. Edward, I'm David.
Good to meet you.
And I'm going to continue to stand here.
You can stand here all you want.
But I will say,
not to videotape.
I will say, if you call local law enforcement,
okay,
what you're doing is you're creating a hazard to my safety.
Why is that?
They might hurt me.
Why would they hurt you?
They might shoot me or beat me or do something.
Do you have any weapons?
I don't carry a weapon.
Okay.
I don't even have a pocket knife.
I can promise you that.
You never know. It happens all the time.
Okay, as long as you comply with any lawful orders they make.
Well, therein lies the issue, lawful orders.
Okay.
How come you're not wearing your earring? Oh, I guess because of the function today.
Doesn't matter.
Good. Well,
neither here nor there.
All right, so I'll save you a lot of time and trouble. You can go back in the air conditioning.
We're not going inside. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not here. I have no ill
Standing
intent, no
right here
ill
with
purpose in being here. Okay, I'm strictly
That's
here.
Not, the people that see you doing that in there, that's not what they think. And that's why we're here.
That's why I just told you, so you can go in there and tell them.
Okay, well, I don't know you
if they're
from the guy who's passing by in their car right now.
You know,
I don't care if you gave me your first name or not. I don't know who you are.
I'm an
I don't
honest,
know if you have weapons
citizen.
on you. I don't know what your background is. I have no idea. And for that reason, I'm here. And I'm asking you to stop doing that.
Well, carrying weapons in Texas isn't against the law. However, I've told you I'm not armed.
If you don't have a permit,
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Okay, I don't know you.
That's
from
all you need to know.
The guy across the street.
And I don't know you. You could be a terrorist.
Okay.
Drug smuggler.
Fair enough.
You know? What you're asking me is that I trust you.
I don't trust you.
I'm saying, but that's what you ask of me. You ask of me that I trust you. All right? And this gentleman as well. Okay?
Let me put it in perspective. You do not see me at your place of employment, wherever that may be, or on the sidewalk directly in front of your house videotaping you. On the contrary, you're doing exactly that thing here. And you're causing me concern and everybody in that building concern. And that's the reason why we're here. So you're not going to, don't proceed to compare things, me and you. That's why we're here addressing this, and that's why I'm asking you to turn that off.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Allow me to respond to that. All right? This is not your house. It's your place of business.
Okay.
That is funded by my tax dollars.
Okay.
And this is where I work. And so you are standing in front of where I work right now.
You work here.
No.
You have a badge to
I
get
work
in that
right
building.
here on this sidewalk.
You do.
I do. I'm working right now.
What capacity?
I'm working right now.
Okay.
I already told you.
Okay, I already told you why we're here, and I'm not going to leave your side until you leave, to be quite honest with you.
Well,
even if that takes 10 hours.
It's going to be a long day then, brother.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to call El Paso PD or do whatever you got to do, but I don't want you wasting your time out here with me. There are more productive things to be doing. Trust me.
Not a waste of time.
Trust me.
Me taking care of the people in there?
You're not taking care of the people in there by being out here with me right now.
I don't know you from the other guy next door. I don't.
And I don't know you. You know, this is the problem with law enforcement today. Okay? You assume that everybody out here is a criminal and wants to hurt you. Okay? So when you get a law-abiding citizen...
Me, if I assumed that, you'd be on the floor or you'd be in handcuffs. Okay? If I truly felt you were that kind of threat. But I don't know anything else. And that's why I'm here, to take care of the people in there.
Okay. Well, I would say speed the process up a little bit, because I don't want you out here wasting my tax dollars all day long. So what I'm going to tell you is...
Then I'd ask you to speed up your process. The sooner you're done here, the sooner this is all over, we can go back inside like you're asking us to.
I would say
Simple
go ahead.
as that.
I would, if I were in your shoes, okay, because of the limited scope of your abilities here.
Okay.
Okay? You cannot drive me off this sidewalk. You know that. Public sidewalk. It's my sidewalk. You're actually on my property right now. The FBI's jurisdiction is about that big right here, right now.
That's why I'm asking you. And that's why everything that's come out of my mouth has been a question.
Okay.
Correct or not?
Let's just speed the process up here. Okay? You want me gone, you get El Paso PD to come run me off. Other than that,
the only way this is going to speed up is if you leave.
No, because all that's going to happen now is I'm going to stand here all day long, and I'm going to take pictures of not only that gate, but that gate and the DEA gate down the road. So if that is unacceptable to you, then you know, do what you got to do.
Okay.
And I thank you for not breaking my camera.
Would never even consider doing that.
I wish more FBI agents felt that way. The FBI give you any training on the Constitution?
I'm well aware of the Constitution.
So you've heard of the First Amendment?
I have.
Okay, just making sure. Because what you're doing right now...
Having a conversation with you?
Well, you're telling me and trying to impede me from engaging in a constitutionally protected activity, my First Amendment right to document public officials in the course of their duties. You're telling me I can't film here?
I'm also telling you it's a safety concern for the individuals that are inside.
Their paranoia is not my problem, sir.
Okay, well, it's mine.
It's not yours.
I'm here to protect the public. I'm here to protect
No, sir.
the people in that
No,
building.
sir. Your first priority
Okay.
is to protect and defend my constitutional rights. You swore an oath to do that. That is your first priority.
Me being here, standing here, just having a conversation with you, making sure those people are okay.
I've already told you, I'm not here to harm those people.
Okay, I don't know that.
I've already told you
I don't know that. I'm sorry, but I don't.
You know, at some point...
Me doing what you're asking me to do, to turn around and go back in there and do something else that's more constructive according to you, would put me, quite frankly, make me uneasy because I don't know who you are. I don't.
Well, 7 years ago, 7 years this has been going on.
Okay.
Have you been with the FBI at least 7 years? At least 7? I mean...
What's been happening for 7 years, sir?
7 years ago, we settled this in a lawsuit with the U.S. government. Department of Homeland Security, as part of this settlement of that lawsuit, put out a memo. DHS put out a memo, and it says, public photography by citizens from public spaces of publicly funded buildings is not suspicious activity, and it shall be allowed.
You're still filming, so...
Actually, I'm videoing.
I'm not sure. Well,
nobody uses film anymore.
Whatever you got.
I do that all the time too.
I don't mean that.
I know it's a generic term. I know.
Okay.
I do it all the time too.
Right.
I actually counted. I've done it 3 times since we've been standing here talking.
Okay.
But yeah.
Neither
So.
nor there, but you're still filming. So
And I'm going to continue to.
that's fine. I'm going to continue to stand here.
Okay. Well, like I said, if I were you, I would just go ahead and call El Paso PD and let them deal with me.
If I feel I need them here, then I'll call them.
Okay. And I'll ask you, do you work in any undercover capacity?
I don't think I have to answer them.
You don't have to. I'm asking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to tell me because, you know, as a courtesy, generally, I give people...
I think because of what you have on your chest there, the rig, I think it's a little too late for me to be answering that question or being asked.
Possibly. And here comes someone else. The bird is the word.
Exercising his First Amendment right. That's what he's telling us.
Oh, dignitaries.
Put the camera down while we're talking to you.
No, sir. Hey, do not touch my camera.
I don't want you to
not touch my camera. Do not touch my camera. Let go of the camera.
Sir,
Let go of the camera.
I'm gonna physically take it out of your hands.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Eddie, just grab a hold of it.
No, you're not. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. I do not consent to this.
I don't want to be struck in the face. And
I'm not striking anybody in the face. I'm not armed. Please step back. I'm not armed. Please step back.
Again, I get that you...
Do not touch my phone.
Your phone.
Do not touch my phone. Do not touch my phone. Do not strike me. Do not touch my phone.
No one's going to strike you.
Let me go.
Calm down.
Let me go.
I have no problem with you filming and exercising.
Well, then why you got my arm all bent up around behind my back?
I don't want to be struck in the face while we're attempting to talk to you.
I'm not striking anybody. I've been talking to your guy here for 30 minutes. Ah!
Let go of the phone.
Sir, just put your...
Space. What's going on?
Am I being detained?
Do what?
Am I being detained?
I'm asking you some questions.
Okay, is that a detainment?
Call it what you want.
That's your job to determine, so.
Well, it's my job to investigate something when somebody calls in to one, you know. Let me see. Say that somebody's doing something, so.
Can I get your name and badge number, sir? That's a nice setup you got there.
ID on you, sir?
When these 2 gentlemen here give me their name and badge numbers, I'll talk to you, so.
The one standing here is Matt Stewart, 709. The one behind me is Blake Carter. And I don't remember his right off the top of my head.
Do you know your badge number, Mr. Carter? Okay, nice to meet you, sir.
Can I see your ID, please?
No, sir, you cannot.
What's your name?
Am I being detained?
At the moment, I guess you could say that.
For what crime? What crime?
You don't have to have a crime.
Yes, you do, sir. You're an officer. Call it. Are any of you guys sergeants?
Nope.
Well, I'd like to see a sergeant then. Until then, I'm going to remain silent.
We don't have a sergeant working.
Wow.
Corporal's the best you got right now.
Okay. So what crime am I being suspected of committing?
It was suspicious
because
that you was out here videoing.
Suspicious activity is not a crime, sir.
But it's something we investigate.
Okay, but it's not a crime. You can't detain me unless I've committed a crime. Unless you have suspicion that I have committed a crime or I'm going to commit a crime, you can't legally detain me. Suspicion is not a crime.
So
suspicious activity.
Right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I do this all the time. I'm very well versed on the law, sir.
Okay. Well, then if you do, then you know I have a right to stop, detain, and ask questions, right?
No, not if I've not committed a crime.
Not if you've not committed a crime.
Correct.
It's part of the investigation.
Okay, well, since I'm being detained, I'm going to go ahead and remain silent.
Okay.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures of my property either.
I don't think nobody's searched you yet, have they?
Oh, no, but I'm sure it's coming.
What would it be coming for?
That's a good question. I guess the same reason you were harassing me right now.
I had two questions to ask you.
Okay.
One was what your name was, so I know who I'm talking to. It's that simple.
I value my privacy, so.
Two is, what is your business out here? You know,
I'm a citizen journalist. I'm a citizen journalist trying to gather content for a story.
Okay. Now that we got that established.
Hurry in for one last bite of Red Lobster's ultimate surf and turf event. You know you wanna.
Alright guys, TX Sheepdog 72 here, San Antonio, Texas. Here was SAXCC Prez and back of the camera girl. And we're going to
no, it's not publicly funded, actually.
It's not? It's not taxpayer funded?
Part of it is.
Part of it is? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's all it needs to be, part of it.
Okay, I get it. But we're very careful about the people that come around our building.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Very well.
I have no ill intent, no ill purpose for being here. I'm just going to take pictures and then I'll be gone.
If they don't have any business there, then they got to kick off, and we'll pop them with disorderly conduct.
I didn't get your name, badge number. I got the sergeant's, but I didn't get your. You're not an officer.
Work for our department, sir. No.
Well, I thought you were wearing a weapon or what looks like a weapon.
No.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys over there.
I'm going out there. I don't care. I'm curious to who you are. Are you a retired police officer?
Yes.
So you have credentials then?
Yeah, that guy called the cops on us, didn't he?
Who?
This guy right here.
Liberty Mutual saved us almost $800 when we switched our auto and home insurance.
Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Okay, everybody, let's try this again. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see me, and give me a heart if you can hear me. We getting any thumbs up or anybody watching yet? Thumbs up if you can see me, and a heart if you can hear me. Awesome. Hello everyone, this is Sherry Duvally with Readout News. We are live from Spokane Valley, Washington. We're in the office of Washington State Representative Matt Shea, who is here to give us a special report on some very breaking news that will affect every American in this country.
Sherry, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing with Readout News. You've been doing a wonderful job covering the trial down in Nevada. I would like to first start, some of the things I'm going to be talking about today are extremely serious, and I don't want to be overly dramatic, but I think you'll see why here in a second. I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I have never had in my entire life, ever, any inclination to commit suicide. I have never in my entire life taken inappropriate pictures and stored them on my computer. In fact, I've had my computer forensically searched for such images. And generally speaking, I love my wife dearly, and we have a wonderful and happy marriage. So with that, everybody's like, whoa, what do you have to say? Well, I want to start with a couple of things. First, there's a very important principle that I would like to start out with, of kind of why what I'm about to say is so important to the American people, and it's this. The people of this state, and this comes from Washington State's Public Records Act, the people of this state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies that serve them. The people in delegating authority do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. People insist on remaining informed so that they may maintain control over the instruments that they have created. And that ultimately is the crux of what I am about to talk about today, since it does involve the Bureau of Land Management. Specifically here in Washington State, the Bureau of Land Management has approximately 435,000 acres under its management. Also, it has many interactions with some of our state agencies and also, obviously, our citizens here in Washington State. One of the very important things to me is that when you are a servant of the government, as we have seen, a servant of the people, as we have seen in recent news stories, you are held to a higher standard because you are a servant of the people, not a servant of the government. That's an important point for what I'm about to talk about. The interesting thing that I have seen over the years is that there has been a flipping of that, where a lot of people that are in the governing authorities have felt like they don't serve the people serve them, and it's just not that way. And so today I would like to break some information that I have obtained. It is a correspondence between Special Agent Larry C. Wooten to Andrew D. Goldsmith, who's the Associate Deputy Attorney General of the United States of America. And recently we've heard, and you've reported on rumors, that there has been a move to dismiss the case against the Bundys down in Nevada. And what I am about to tell you is probably one of the reasons why. And it has to do with the unethical, potentially illegal behavior that was highlighted by Special Agent Wooten as a whistleblower in an email that, or it looks like an email, that we have confirmed the veracity of. And I want to just give you a little bit of a taste, reading from this email, of what Special Agent Wooten brought up as problems we found in the Bureau of Land Management, specifically in regards to the investigation of the Bundy family. Quote, I routinely observed, and the investigation revealed a widespread pattern of bad judgment, lack of discipline, incredible bias, unprofessionalism and misconduct, as well as likely policy, ethical, and legal violations among senior and supervisory staff at the BLM's Office of Law Enforcement and Security. When I reported these issues, my supervisor seemed generally unsurprised and uninterested, and was dismissive and seemed unconcerned. Now, I want to set the stage a little bit here. Apparently, Special Agent Wooten was the case agent or the lead investigator for this case. Here's another quote from him. The longer the investigation went on, the more extremely unprofessional, familiar, racy, vulgar, and bias-filled actions, open comments, and inappropriate electronic communications I was made aware of or I personally witnessed, end quote. He then continues, quote, the ridiculousness of the conduct, unprofessional, amateurish, carnival atmosphere, openly made statements, and electronic communications tended to mitigate the defendant's culpability and cast a shadow of doubt, of inexcusable bias, unprofessionalism, and embarrassment on our agency, end quote. This is where it gets very incredible, because Special Agent Wooten brings up some very serious allegations against his own agency, and I want to kind of highlight what those are, and then I would like to go through what specifically is written in this correspondence. First, Special Agent Wooten says that there was the treatment of the Bundys in a manner that suggested they wanted to see a couple members of the Bundy family either dead or harmed. And I want to be very specific about what he said about that in here. The second thing that's brought up is that there was an apparent withholding of exculpatory evidence that Mr. Wooten had brought to the attention of his supervisors. Next was that there was allegations of sexual misconduct inside the BLM's law enforcement arm, and that also there were indeed at Bundy Ranch snipers that had been deployed. Now, it's interesting because I personally have been witnessing the news reports that have been out there, some of the things you've been breaking, that snipers were in fact maybe not there, and that was the government's position in a previous hearing. This document very clearly is the smoking gun, not only in this case, but I believe an indictment of BLM itself, and maybe even potentially the prosecutors that are involved in this case. And I want to read again some of the things that are in here, because some of it is so outrageous that I will be sending a letter very specifically to Congress. We'll be sending a letter to Secretary Zinke and the Trump administration so that they can take the appropriate action and prosecute the bad actors for some of the behavior that has occurred inside the BLM. I also want to be very specific that the Trump administration is probably going to be blindsided by this, as I was blindsided by this information coming to me. And I believe that they have been doing the right thing when they have been given the facts, and I have every confidence the Trump administration is going to do the right thing in this case to bring those to justice that have either violated the letter of the law or the spirit of the law or policies internal to BLM. So let me go down a couple of these things that are in this correspondence, again from Special Agent Wooten. Quote, the misconduct caused considerable disruption in the workplace, was discriminatory, harassing, and showed clear prejudice against the defendants, their supporters, and Mormons. Oftentimes, the misconduct centered on being sexually inappropriate, profanity, appearance/body shaming, and likely violated privacy and civil rights. Next, he says, extremely biased and degrading flyers were also openly displayed and passed around the office. A booking photo of Cliven Bundy was and is inappropriately, openly, prominently, and proudly displayed in the office of a potential trial witness and my supervisor, and an altered, degrading suspect photos were put in the office presentation by his supervisor. End quote. The next quote is, quote, my supervisor even instigated the unprofessional monitoring of jail calls.
All of the races are different.
Our nation's first Orcish police officer.
Hey, don't get me stabbed. Live Orcs always gotta be the bad guys.
Hey, free! That's a magic wand.
If this falls into the wrong hands...
Quote, my supervisor even instigated the unprofessional monitoring of jail calls between defendants and their wives without prosecutor or FBI consent for the apparent purpose of making fun of the post-arrest telephone calls between Idaho defendants/FBI targets, end quote. That is an extraordinary statement, that they are admitting what seems to be a very clear violation of, if not policy, the spirit or letter of the law. I also find it very interesting as well that they were putting things up in the office when some of those members of that office had to testify. I think there are some very clear rules that say you should not do that for many different reasons. I will move next to some more comments that he had and then get into something that is probably the most shocking part of this entire correspondence. Quote, "This carnival, inappropriate and childish behavior didn't stop with the directed bias and degradation of subjects of investigation. BLM law enforcement supervisors also openly talked about and gossiped about private employee personnel matters such as medical conditions, work performance, marriage issues, religion, punishments, internal investigations, and derogatory opinions of high-level BLM supervisors." He also says, quote, "There was a religious test of sorts, and he was personally asked, quote, 'You're not a Mormon, are you?' And he was told, quote, 'I bet you think I'm going to hell,' end quote." He continues, quote, "that the investigation also indicated that on multiple occasions, former BLM Special Agent in Charge, Love, specifically and purposely ignored U.S. Attorney's Office and BLM's civilian management direction and intent, as well as Nevada State official recommendations in order to command the most intrusive, oppressive, large-scale, and militaristic trespass cattle impound possible," end quote. I want to comment on that for a second. If government exists to protect the rights of life, liberty, and property, and you have now a special agent in charge questioning the handling of this situation, that it was intentionally made intrusive, oppressive, large-scale, and militaristic, we have a problem in America today. And those people that did this need to be held accountable for it. And I have, again, every confidence the Trump administration will do so. It's also interesting to note that Special Agent Wooten said that he had contacted Attorney Stephen Myrie and Assistant United States Attorney Nadia Ahmed, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Joe Willis by telephone on these issues. And as you read through the document, which we will post online here as soon as this segment is done, very specifically, he seems to imply that nothing was ever done by any of those folks. And that at the very least needs to be investigated further if that is indeed the correct implication. But the most shocking part of this entire thing, I believe, is that the BLM law enforcement arm and one of his supervisors, quote, emailed out photographs of an arrest tracking wall in which Eric Parker and Cliven Bundy had X's through their face and body, and then he puts in quotation or in parentheses indicating prejudice and bias in parentheses. Well, I think that's a little bit more than prejudice and bias in my opinion, because later in this document he says, quote, "Time after time I was told a former BLM special agent in charge Love's misconduct. I was told by BLM law enforcement supervisors that he had a kill book." Every American needs to understand what I just said. That you have a special agent in charge that had a kill book. Well, was that turned over to the defense? How is that due process? I mean, there's a lot of questions this statement by Special Agent Wooten raises, but he continues, quote, "as a trophy, and in essence bragged about getting 3 individuals in Utah to commit suicide," which is why I gave the statement I did at the beginning of this segment, because that's probably one of the most startling statements I have ever read in any investigation I've ever been a part of in the last 15 years. That is beyond startling. But he goes on and he cites the specific operations that were bragged about. Apparently Operation Cerberus, which I don't even know what that is, but we'll find out, and I know you've reported on it, I think. Also, the Failure Rock and Burning Man special event where, quote, he was unlawfully removing evidence, bragging about the number of OIG and internal investigations on him, and indicating that he was untouchable, end quote. Those are some of the most shocking statements, again, that I have heard in a long time. And people may try to discredit Special Agent Wooten later, but internal to this document, he also says that he was removed from the case on February 18, 2017 by his supervisor, despite his recently documented and awarded hard work and excellence and often praised performance within the Bureau of Land Management. He says, quote, "I am convinced that I was removed to prevent the ethical and proper further disclosure of the severe misconduct, failure to correct and report, and cover-ups by the BLM OLES supervision. Time after time." This is where he starts in about the kill book. But he goes on and says, "I became convinced that my supervisor failed to properly disclose substantive and exculpatory case and witness bias-related issues to the United States Attorney General's office, which they have a duty to disclose exculpatory evidence. And since we don't know what's happening in these sealed hearings, I suspect this is what is giving rise to all the rumors that this case is going to be dismissed. If this type of exculpatory evidence was withheld, I mean, my goodness. But it gets even more interesting when it talks about in this document that Dave Bundy's iPad likely contained remarks from BLM law enforcement officers that is potentially evidence of civil rights violations and use of excessive force. Mr. Myrie, this is again talking about the attorney, the prosecutor, and my supervisor not only apparently failed to initiate the proper follow-on actions, Mr. Myrie apparently failed to notify defense counsel and also decided not to return the iPad back to Dave Bundy, even though the iPad wasn't going to be searched pursuant to a search warrant or used as evidence in trial.
Is this the same Stephen Myrie that is currently the acting U.S. Attorney for the state and District of Nevada?
Yes, I believe so. It is. And then we get to the end of this document, and I will end with this. Now, there was this push by the government to make it seem like there were no snipers down there in Nevada. Now, when I went down there, it was very clear that there had been snipers there. People had pictures of them. There was a lot of talk about them. So I was kind of shocked when the government took the position that there were somehow not snipers down there. But Special Agent Wooten addresses that, quote, "At least one school-trained federal sniper equipped with a scope magnified optic bolt-action precision rifle and another federal officer equipped with a scoped magnified optic large frame caliber, this .308, were in overwatch positions. Additionally, the investigation also indicated the possibility that the FBI and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department had law enforcement snipers designated marksmen on hand for possible deployment." I want to talk about a few principles here that I have believed in and I know many Americans believe in, and that is that a sniper rifle is not due process. You know, going down there and putting sniper rifle in our country, and for those of us that have served in the United States military overseas, that is a startling statement that we had sniper rifles pointed at American citizens without any due process whatsoever. It's also startling that some of these things, and I don't know what has been talked about in these sealed hearings, but it appears that some of these things and more of these things have not been disclosed to the American people. And going back to what I originally stated with the Public Records Act intent here in Washington State, these things not only need to be disclosed to the American people, I believe we have a duty to disclose them to the American people, because this right here is the smoking gun that what so many people believed had actually gone on behind the scenes in Nevada actually did go on behind the scenes, at least according to Special Agent Wooten. And because of that, again, I am going to be taking action on this. We have, again, 435,000 BLM acres in Washington State, and in our oversight capacity in the legislature, we have to, if there is any agency, any level of government, we have taken an oath to defend the Constitution of both the United States and the Constitution of the state of Washington. And this impacts all Americans, that this behavior in a federal agency was potentially tolerated, was potentially covered up, was potentially trying to be hidden from the American people. And this, at the very least, warrants an investigation. I believe, you know, Special Agent Wooten had done this and come forward as a whistleblower because he believes in America. And if his statements in here are accurate and correct, then there needs to be people fired from the BLM and prosecuted from the BLM, and also potentially, if exculpatory evidence was withheld, potentially from the prosecutor's office, but that's for somebody else to evaluate, not me. My job is to bring this to the public and to make sure that we follow up on this with all the power that we have to ensure an accurate investigation is done at the congressional level and also by Secretary Zinke in the Department of Interior.
Has Secretary Zinke been informed of any of this, do you know?
I do not know if he has been informed of any of this. I, again, suspect that he's probably going to be blindsided by this, as I was, because it's very clear as you read this document that Special Agent Wooten is saying that there was information being withheld or intentionally kept compartmentalized. So I would suspect that would mean from superiors, but I don't know. Again, that would be total speculation. But I suspect that he is going to watch this video, and I know that he has a heart for doing the right thing. So again, the Trump administration, I have every faith and trust that they will do the right thing to bring those to justice that need to be brought to justice and to rectify this horrific situation.
You said you're going to share this document. That's quite a large document. It's like 18 pages, if I remember right. That you didn't you say 18?
It is, yeah. It's 17 or 18, yeah. So be sharing it online on my Facebook page, and be more than happy to make sure it gets shared over to Readout News.
Absolutely.
But this is going to, I think, change the way that many Americans view some of the things that we have maybe trusted for a very long time, like myself. And there's always good and bad actors in any organization, and we need to root out the bad actors, and that's what I aim to do by sending letters and making sure that Congress follows through on this and taking a look into this serious matter.
Well, I certainly hope that representatives in all the western states follow your lead and get to the bottom of this, because it certainly affects everybody.
Well, you certainly have some great representatives in Idaho. Congressman Raul Labrador, Representative Dorothy Moon, been doing a great job over there, and I'm going to make sure they get a hold of
I have every confidence that the Trump administration will do what? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to this motherfucker, but yeah, I bet you all these people are still in their jobs, and the only guy that's been fired or dismissed is Wooten. Let's continue. Oh, yeah. One thing I wanted to say before we continue. It might seem for me to be extreme to say ISIS is your law enforcement. Law enforcement in America is ISIS in America. And it's because they operate the same way. Not exactly the same way, but systematically the same way. When ISIS rolls up into a town, the first thing they start doing is identifying everybody, writing everybody down. It's the first thing that they do. And then they give a litmus test. Are you a Muslim? And if you're not, they kill you. And then they go in further than that. Do you believe in Sharia law as a Muslim? Well, if you don't, they kill you. Well, let's just say you're a practicing Muslim that might drink a little bit. Well, they kill you. They're intolerable. They're intolerable. They're corrupt with religion from the inside out. Law enforcement in America is the same way. But the litmus tests are different. The litmus test for you, the American public, is, do you have ID? That's the first one. And it's like they're trained. Do you have ID? Got some ID? Do you got some ID? Are you a Muslim? You got some ID? The second thing is they are corrupt, intolerably corrupt from the inside. They're riddled. Absolutely riddled with corruption from the top to the bottom. It didn't take this long for the fish to rot from the tail up, my friend. The fish always rots from the head back, or from the head down. You'll also find in the other videos we were watching that they seem to equate the building that they work in to their home. Well, I spend more time in there than I do at my home. And that is not your home. That is what we pay for. Well, would you like me standing in front of your house taking pictures of your house? Motherfucker, let me tell you what you're doing in my house. You're monitoring all my telephone calls. You're monitoring all my web traffic. You can use my router to figure out where I am in my house. Not to mention your Stingray devices and every goddamn thing else. All your fusion centers, everything. So before you start telling me this is my house, understand, in America today, your house is for my inspection. Just like my house is for your inspection. You don't have to come in here with a gang full of guys with guns to figure out what I'm doing. That's what all this technology is for. You can turn my cameras on, turn my cameras off. You can do any fucking thing you want to. I'm sure there's a motherfucker in a fusion center right now jacking off to the thought of the cops beating my nigger ass. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. There's another motherfucker that's probably jacking off to watching my daughter on her fucking laptop. Guaranteed. If not 1,000 of them. You should see these fusion centers and these government buildings that they have chock full of armies that have been degrading your civil liberties for longer than you can imagine. And they have approached it with a systematic device to make sure people that love the Constitution and wanted to do good work, that wanted to do work for the Americas or the American people, they don't get hired. Just like universities have liberal stacking. Everybody knows what liberal stacking is. Well, the same thing occurs in all these agencies. Special agent this, special agent that. You might as well just call them fucking Ahmed. There's no difference between ISIS in Syria or Iraq than there is in law enforcement in the United States or the justice system, period. They operate the same way, wear the same clothes, everything. Everything. No difference. Let's continue.
Why do you need my ID?
I need to talk to you about a complaint from the neighborhood.
What's the complaint about?
The complaint is about sound amplification.
Well, that's illegal activity.
Sound amplification is illegal activity?
Yeah, I mean, I can show you.
Well, I understand you can illegally amplify.
Yeah.
I'm talking about disturbing somebody's peace.
Yeah, that's
what
been
I deal with.
Yeah, that's been ruled on.
No, don't give me the law. Just if I could get your name, would be great.
Okay, well, I'm just asking why you need my name.
I told you why.
So are you arresting me or charging me with a crime?
Not at this point. I'd like to.
No. So then the state law of Arizona says that you can't ask for my ID unless I'm being charged with a crime.
Well, I am in the process of investigating a crime.
Okay. What? You just ignored the.
If you get arrested, I have to be able to do an investigation.
Sure, but the law says.
I don't just grab people and arrest them.
No, I appreciate that, officer, but you're a law enforcement official, and I'm showing you the law. The law says that in order for you to say I'm disturbing the peace, it has to be more than a vague generality of your own opinion. You have to have a calibrated meter that demonstrates I'm over 65 decibels. Do you have a calibrated meter?
Do I have to have a calibrated meter?
You do. It's a city code. what it says.
Okay, so do you want to tell me who you are, or you don't want to?
No, officer, I respect your position. I'm a pastor. I respect law enforcement, and since you're law enforcement, the law says that you can't ask for my ID unless you are charging me with a crime.
I can ask you a million questions. You just need to tell me whether or not you want to do it or answer them.
No, and just so you know, I respect your position immensely. I believe your position is ordained by God in terms of government, but I also believe that you and I both respect the law. And our Constitution says that I have a right to remain silent and not self-incriminate. And our state law says that in order for you to actually get my ID, I have to be cited with a crime. Hi, how are you?
Soundbite for you.
Okay.
I'm Sergeant Liz Lenzen, Tempe PD.
Hello.
Hey, who's been using the megaphone?
I have.
Yeah, and what's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff who?
Yeah, Jeff. It's Pastor Jeff.
Pastor Jeff? Yes. I'm so supposed to know. Where are you pastor at?
Apologia Church in Tempe.
Okay, and what's your last name, Jeff?
Do you need that for anything?
Yes, we do, because we have a complaint that we're working. That's why we're here.
Okay. Well,
otherwise, we would not be here.
No, I respect your position. I was just telling this officer over here, in order for me to identify myself, I have to be cited with a crime according to Arizona state law.
Well, we're going to give you a warning right now, so we're going to need that for a street check. So what's your last name?
Okay, so the warning is a violation of the law?
Well, because of the amplified sound device.
Well, what I was saying to the officer was...
Zach?
He's right over here.
Zach. Where's the other Zach? Zach number
Morgan,
one.
he's out of state right now.
Okay, I'm used to, they know me. And Steven knows me. So you're going to be given a warning you cannot use. And
well, officer, you can't do that. Officer, you can't do that unless you have a calibrated meter according to city code.
Oh, we can.
And you test it.
Yeah, we can. And so
you can violate this law.
We have a complaint that's a citizen.
A complaint of illegal activity.
We have complaint
of illegal activity.
Disorderly conduct.
Ma'am, if you read the city code, you'll see you can't.
You've been given a warning. You can't use your amplified sound device. If you will, you go to jail. You've already been given that warning.
Ma'am, you're not even looking at you're a supervisor. You won't look at the law?
No, I know the law.
We'll file a suit against you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Lenzen.
Gotcha. Okay, let's get that on the camera. Officer Lenzen.
We got our cams going.
Officer Lenzen, would you like it to look at the law?
We'll do this. Lenzen.
Is this professional activity on your part to behave in this manner?
You've got a warning, so please don't do it. We don't
What's
really
the warning
want to
for?
arrest you.
This is my question. What's the warning for?
Warned already. Okay.
Officer, what's the warning for?
Amplified sound device.
That's legal activity.
You can't use it.
You won't look at this?
Don't use it.
It's illegal activity.
We have a complaint.
Ma'am, we'll sue you for violating our constitutional rights.
Sue us. You can. It's your right.
It is my right, and I want to do this for the record of the court. She will not look at the city code.
Warning. Thank you.
You won't look at the city code?
No, I already know it.
Yeah, ma'am, I reject your.
Southwest, yeah.
How many police officers do they usually have on duty at one time?
I'm going to say at least 2 during the school zones. That's when I see it. I actually live in...
All right. Can't hear you.
So we just got a call from our county commissioner, said you were videotaping, and he kind of weirding him out a little bit. I don't know why you're videotaping, because I seen you videotaping my traffic stop too.
Yep, that's me.
What are you walking around town videotaping for, if you don't mind me asking?
Looking to see what was out here.
Okay. Are you from here? Or?
Nope.
Yeah. You have any ID on you? Mind if I see your ID?
Nope.
Okay. Have a good day.
All right.
Seriously?
Seriously, is your horn stuck?
Is your brake
Is your
stuck?
fucking horn stuck, smartass?
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? Let me see your driver's license.
This is fucked up.
Good, let me see your driver's license.
I will. For what?
Let me see your driver's license.
For what? For what?
Tell you what, you're gonna either show me your driver's license or you're gonna wind up getting a ticket. I'll tow your car and lock you up.
For what?
Let me see your driver's license.
For what?
You're being stopped for a traffic violation. Let me see your
For
driver's
honking at someone who's sitting at a green light? Fucking ridiculous.
Sorry, what you just say?
I said this is fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be a fucking asshole.
You're sitting at a green light. I have to go back to work.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I hope you're not in a hurry because you're going to be delayed for a little while. Fucking jack off.
Cool. What a fucking dick.
I just want to know why he was sitting there.
I want to know why I'm being...
Right?
This day and age?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's the reason for the contact, okay? And,
Okay.
and I know the camera and the recording...
It's just to keep me safe, man.
That's fine. Everyone's recording it.
Okay.
All right? Everyone's recording
You guys have
it.
body cameras?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, so the point is this, all right? I don't know what your function is while you're here. Hold on. So hear me out completely, okay? If it's a legitimate enterprise that you're involved in, there's probably a damn good chance we can help, okay? Provide some assistance, provide some insight, help you get what you need so you can be as successful as you want to be for whatever store you're running, whoever you work for, freelance, whatever the case is, okay? All that being said, okay, with all that being said, okay, public safety considerations outweigh all of that, okay?
The Constitution?
That is where it all comes from, yeah. Okay, my point is this. When you're contacted with this type of suspicious activity, okay, since we're talking about constitutional rights and all that kind of stuff, based on the type of police contact you have, you are required to identify yourself. Okay, you are, period.
CRS 16-3-103 states you have to have a reasonable articulable suspicion that I have, am, or am going to commit a crime. Disorderly conduct is not standing on the public sidewalk taking pictures, because the Supreme Court has ruled that that's constitutionally protected activity.
Okay, so I can show you my degree in criminal justice as well. I took a constitutional law class. I get all that. My point is this. Since you're as well-versed as you are, you fully understand that with this type of police contact, you are going to be required to identify yourself. Now, with all that said, okay, not looking to make a Supreme Court case out of this, not looking to blow this up into anything bigger than it is, but we are going to positively identify you, and there's no way around that, okay? Does that make sense?
I'd be willing to give you my first name.
Okay, well, we'd be halfway there, man. You see what I'm saying? And so I started this, if you'll think back to the start of this conversation, I'm asking you to meet me in the middle on this, right? Interject a little bit of common sense into this thing.
I do understand where you're coming
sense?
from, public safety and all. I do understand it.
Do you?
With that being said, I still would rather keep my personal information safe.
Sure.
Unless I, legally were obligated to give it,
Which
I
you
would
are.
understand.
Which you are.
You've not given me suspicion of a crime.
Okay, well, first of all, I told you were being detained for the suspicion activity that's going on.
You can't legally
And we're
detain
done.
me for suspicious activity.
Absolutely, I can.
Have you heard Turner versus Driver?
Have you heard Terry versus Ohio?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
not
So
going.
this is a Terry stop.
We're not going to compare, okay, our knowledge of the Constitution at this
Okay.
point. But what we are going to do, I'm just letting you know how this is going to go, okay? As smoothly and as quickly as it goes will be completely dependent on your cooperation with this inquiry, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, after you're willing to give me your first name, is I'm going to take your phone, I'm going to put it on the hood of the car for my safety and my cover officer's safety, okay?
For my phone?
Yeah.
How does it make you unsafe that I'm recording this?
Okay, I'm going to explain it to you after I put it. there? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Their plate numbers and all of that, I'm just not that interested. These guys would be easy to compromise as well. I can tell you how many guards, security guards, they have on staff at any given time, excluding emergencies and shutdowns and stuff like that. I can tell you how many off-duty police officers they have on staff at any given time. Are we done here?
No, we're not. I need some identification.
I committed no crime. I'm engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. I have no obligation to identify myself.
You do not?
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
No, sir. 3802 says I only have to identify myself if I am lawfully arrested. Suspicious activity, being a suspicious person, is interpretive. Supreme Court says you cannot use that as justification to stop and detain somebody. What's suspicious to you is not suspicious to me. I have no obligation to identify myself unless I'm lawfully arrested. Is suspicious person a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's a misdemeanor. We're not going to stay here and hold court all day.
I can tell you the agencies that those officers come from. Okay? I can tell you what types of vehicles they drive when they're working versus what the security guys get. I can tell you pretty accurately the response time of the Deer Park Police Department for incidents that occur at Shell. I have employees that work in Shell, contractors and Shell employees, that some of them are ex-employees, some of them are current employees, who routinely feed me information about the goings-on within that refinery. Routinely, including photographs. I have photographs of gates that have been left unlocked. I've got photographs of, well, all kinds of things, and we'll just leave it at that. But here's the thing. I've even had employees that have given me diagrams, and these are current employees, have given me diagrams of certain internal things in the plant. One of them gave me a very detailed drawing of the high pressure gas line that runs through the plant, and then I went to Google Earth and verified that it is indeed a genuine and correct drawing. So why would anybody want to attack the front gate of Shell Refinery with a camera when there's an airport very close by? If you were a terrorist, you just take one of the airplanes from the airport. Now that you know where the high pressure gas line is, you take that plane, you crash it in, or you fly over and drop some homemade bombs on it, and that high pressure gas line will take that entire plant out, period. And yet they are worried about somebody with a camera standing out on the public street where you can't see anything. Shell Security, this group, from the top to the bottom, is the worst security I have ever seen since I've been doing this within the United States. Not just Texas, every state that I've been to. This is the worst. Shell hires the worst people to work for them, not the best. Valero's getting the best. I can tell you, Valero's got some good people in security. Very knowledgeable and smart enough to stay on their property and call the police. I mean, Shell, every single time, will have their security guards follow me or anybody else that goes there, follow us off into neighborhood streets, follow us off into, into Deer Park, off their property. Now, it would be very simple to grab one of these guys, okay, put a bomb in the vehicle, drive the vehicle back, and drive right through the front gate with it. There is no reason for these people to come off of private property. Absolutely none. Other than the fact that they are stupid. Absolutely stupid. They expose Shell to an extreme liability. I recently had one of them try to ram me in my vehicle. He followed me, or he followed another auditor, and you know, they know what I drive. I was driving something that they knew on purpose, and so when I went to pick the auditor up on a side street, the Shell security guard came very close to ramming me. He intentionally came at me and almost hit me. This is what they're doing. And so Shell is not serving Deer Park, and they are not, these people that they hired are not serving Shell's best interest. Again, they are the worst. And I'm going to forward this video to Homeland Security and the Deer Park Police Department and the mayor of Deer Park, and it's time something somewhere changes. So that's it, guys. Y'all be safe.
Okay. We just noticed you were videoing the back lot and the back of the PD, so just figured everything was all right. What's your name? I'm Urban.
Urban?
Yeah.
Urban Rodriguez?
Yep.
Urban's kind of an unusual name.
Yeah. What's your name?
I didn't get it.
You don't have a name?
Oh, I have a name. No, I don't really want to get it. I can help it.
Oh, I was just trying to be friendly. That's all.
No, I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm not, I got no ill will or ill intent. I'm just taking pictures. That's all.
Okay. Well, I guess if there's anything you need, you can holler at us at any time.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's been a couple of officers that could ask me if I was okay, if I needed anything. Well, no, I was good.
Okay.
So, I'm fine.
Are you making a movie or something, or
just getting some B-roll footage? Not interested in people's personal cars. There's a sign over there that's flashing. I was getting pictures of that. Other than that, you know, all I've gotten is marked units. And that's all I will get.
Well, if you're getting the sign that's in there, that's going to cover people's cars.
No,
so, you know, it'll make people nervous, you know, a little bit, especially after their personal vehicles and stuff like that. And
police officers in the state of Texas get their plates unregistered, so it does me no good to have a plate number off of a personal car. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how your car is.
Not necessarily.
If you're smart, it would be.
True, but
especially in this day and age where there's cameras everywhere. I counted like 16 of them just back here.
Right. Well, that's just a protective fact of the back lot, you know. We don't want anybody to come in and try to mess with this or the marketing unit or our personal vehicle.
Do y'all have trouble with vandals?
In and out with
y'all have trouble with vandals coming through here?
Not recently. So it's just one of those. It's just protection in general. That's all. You know, I mean, it's like anything else. You know, the camera keeps us all kind of accountable for our actions.
Absolutely. Are you running your body camera right now?
Always. Any contact.
Good deal. Glad to see you.
How you doing today?
Good.
The thing I'm going to do is make sure you stay out of the roadway too.
This is about as far out of the roadway as I can get. Without climbing over somebody's car.
Sometimes they take it wide where you're standing because we got vehicles coming into the jail, sometimes emergency equipment, and you know, we got ambulances and fire trucks too. But other than that, just be careful when you're coming through here because this technically the roadway. There's not much of a sidewalk. So.
Yeah, you guys got it taken up. Yeah. But it looks like parking's kind of tight here, so I can understand.
Yeah, it's not exactly. Well, it's just when you have all your units back here too.
Well, that's what he was saying was, you know, I was asking him, y'all had trouble with vandals back here and stuff? You have a lot of cameras. So.
Actually, somebody tried to break into my car one day.
Right out here?
Yeah, we caught him inside my vehicle. That's why everybody's kind of curious about people back here, and that's the reason for this. And my vehicle was actually parked in. We didn't have the fence in. Or actually caught somebody inside the fence line in my vehicle. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, the fence was not there.
Right, I got you. They were inside the property line.
Yeah, and they've just been released from here, so you can imagine.
Stupid people do stupid things.
Yeah.
You know, criminals are not known for being excessively intelligent.
Okay, well, just be careful.
Absolutely. Take care. All right, y'all be careful.
not want to talk to you, but if you can tell us, why. Let me get off the road.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you filming into this area, or into the rock area, or into the bigger area?
The rock area and the train yard.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. I mean, you can't make me delete my footage. My delete button's broken. So
I understand, but you got to understand from on our side. And I'm not trying to tell you got to go anywhere because it's public property. But from our perspective, because the Coast Guard, the way the Coast Guard works is if the Coast Guard has anyone, if we have regulations from the Coast Guard we have to comply with, right? And if someone's filming into the areas that are into a Coast Guard restricted area, we're supposed to contact them because they put it into the National Institute of Security. They get investigators to come out and try to find out why someone's. It's all about terrorism, right? Because
all of that for a guy standing on the street taking pictures of nothing. I mean, what is top secret that I can see from here? Well, I've already looked on Google Earth.
Sure.
There's nothing top secret you can see from here.
I'm not saying it's top secret. It's just there's security protocols that we have to maintain by the Coast Guard's requirements, and from what they give us, that's just the rules we have to go by. Is that if we're allowed to operate an area that's like that, that's bringing in ships for foreign trade cargo, and we have secured areas down there that you have to have credentials to get through on, that's our responsibility to the Coast Guard is that, hey, if we see that, we're supposed to engage those folks, ask them why. If they can give us a reason that's good for it. If not, or it gets very suspicious in their mind from a domestic terrorism standpoint. That's the best way to put it.
Okay, I don't see it, but I can see everything I would need to plan a terrorist attack.
Sure.
On Google Earth.
Absolutely, you're right.
So standing out here, what am I accomplishing? I mean, it's not like I'm trying to hide.
I know, I mean, you're wearing safety vest. That's why I came up to say, hey, just curious on if there's something we can help you with. If information you need, we'll be willing to provide it if you want it.
No, I got what I wanted.
Okay. All right.
If you feel the need to call the coasties on me or local PD, have at it. I mean, I'm going to be right here in the area for another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm just trying to help you understand our perspective of it, right? We have it happen, and But what we're required to do, the Coast Guard, is at least talk to those folks and say, hey, they're filming for this reason or that reason. That's all it's about.
Well, I'm filming for my use.
Mm-hmm. You live here in the area?
I do not. I drove in from another town.
Okay. So that's what makes it very, very. From the Coast Guard's perspective, that's where they get very nervous.
Well, people aren't allowed to travel anymore?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. It's just if you're filming into an area that's a security area, there's signs up there that says, it's a private property, and
sure, beyond that fence.
Right, you're right.
I'm outside the fence.
I understand, but that's our job is from our what the Coast Guard allows us to do. Like I said, we're a private company, but is to at least talk to those folks and say, is there anything we can help you with? If there's information you're looking for, we can provide it for you. If you're,
I think everything I want I can get online.
Okay.
Other than the photographs that I need. Well, it's not photographs. I'm actually taking video, live video. I was taking video of the security guard.
Do you represent anybody? Are you a civilian, or do you work for somebody? Or
I'm an investigative journalist.
Okay. Well, if there's something we can assist with, if you need information, we'll be more than willing to talk to you about it. So.
I think I can get everything I need offline.
Okay. Well, like I said, if there's something we can help with, more than willing to come to the guards and they can contact us. It just looks suspicious, right? Someone standing out taking video. So, I understand it's free.
I'm saying tourists stand on the street and take pictures all the time, and nobody bothers them. It's just, what are we going to say is a tourist area and what's not a tourist area is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my opinion is the government doesn't have the right to make that distinction.
Yeah.
If somebody is into trains or big trucks, they want to stand on the public right away and take pictures, they should be able to do that.
You're right, and it absolutely is. It just gets down to, like I said, when we get nowadays with all the security and everything going on, for us, because they authorized us to allow foreign flag ships to come to our docks, and when they allow to do that, we have a response to them that, hey, if we see anything that looks suspicious or anything people taking people taking video, taking pictures, then they want to know about it. So.
Well, you can call them and tell them you got some tall, ugly guy out here taking pictures.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to come talk to you and say hi. I mean, like I said, and if there's any information you want to find out, or we're definitely more than willing to let you know what we're doing in there. I mean, there's nothing.
Nothing top secret.
We're moving trains. We're moving trucks. They're taking, moving. It's coming from a dock to a warehouse, and a warehouse to a truck, and a truck out to the gate. So. That's all it is.
Like I said, there's nothing top secret going on in there. I've already looked.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard stuff. I understand you're part of port security, and that's what gets you jammed up with the Coast Guard and stuff.
Because,
I got it.
Because from our side, if they came, because the Coast Guard comes all the time and they say, hey, you got someone out there filming, and we say, huh, no, then they're like, all right, here's your violation, and they nail us. So.
Well, you can call them, tell them you talked to me, and I'm mean as a snake.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate it.
Like I said, I'll be here another 15 or 20 minutes. If they want to come talk to me, they can do it. They'll have to hurry.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's going to be a little too warm for me to be out here.
It is hot as hell.
And it's only getting worse.
Yes, sir, it is. All right. Like I said, if outside of that, if there's something else you need, feel free to come contact us. Like I said, we're, because we have people come say, hey, what are you guys doing in there? We'll take in. Hey, look, it's a warehouse. It's got some coils in it. It's got some rail in it.
Yeah, the foreign flag ships are what I'm curious about.
Okay.
Who's monitoring the personnel coming on and off those vessels?
Yeah, it's all Coast Guard, all customs. Yeah,
I know.
So, okay.
Good. I can't hear you over that. I'm step back.
How you doing?
Good.
Did you talk to these people already, sir, by chance?
Yeah, there was a security guard that came out here on the street and detained me.
Okay.
A security guard.
Yes, sir.
Detained me. You understand it's a crime, right? Private security has no authority off private property. This is public property where I'm standing.
Okay. Have you been here all this time?
On public property?
Were you ever inside the property at all?
Nope, not one.
Okay.
Are you running your body cam?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Just checking. You guys got good body cams, I gotta admit. I've seen some of the footage. They do pretty good.
Yes, sir. Hey, since 9/11 happened, what the department is asking us to do is to identify folks that are near the power plants, that are videotaping. All right, and what we do is we'll just do a investigation report. Okay, just because of that. Okay, it is. All right. What's your name? What's your name?
What happens if I don't give it?
Are you walking as far as, or are you on a vehicle or anything like that?
I'm not in a vehicle right here, right now.
All right. All right.
So are you going to arrest me?
No. The main thing is, I told you that just to make you understand that I do need to do an investigation. Okay.
That's Sergeant Rios?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do have another unit coming out here. All right, but again, I did explain that to you. Okay, since 9/11, they want us, as far as policy goes, is just to go ahead and identify people that are out here videotaping at the chemical plants. Okay? Yeah. I don't have no problem. You're out here. If you're out in public property or whatever you're doing, that's you. Okay, but all right. What's going on as far as may I ask the reason why you're videotaping or anything like that? I mean,
walking down the street,
yes,
see
sir,
something
yes, sir.
interesting, and take pictures of it.
That's fine. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I feel the wheels turning in your head, Sergeant.
And there's no need to be. There's no need to be. All right, sir. I mean, we're here to protect everybody. You, them, everybody, right? I mean, there's no. Well, I don't want this to be confrontation or nothing like that, because
well, unless you turn it into a confrontation, it's not going to be a confrontation.
All right, sir. What I'm going to do,
I'm not confrontational, and I'm not armed.
Yes, sir. No, I understand.
Yeah, I have no ill intent.
The reason I'm here is the reason I'm talking to you is because of that. Okay. Now, because they called us, okay. Obviously, I haven't made contact with them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the officer that's going to come here and go talk to them and see what they're telling me. Okay, and then we'll take it from there as far as what we need to do. All right, sir.
Okay. Well,
yes, sir.
I'm just going to let you know that I was on public property at all times.
Okay.
I have a body camera that has run since before I even got here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I can demonstrate that if I have to.
Yes, sir.
So if they lie to you and tell you anything different than
by
that,
all means, and by all means, just like once we talk to them, obviously, if they tell us something different, we'll get your side of the story as well, and we need to talk.
I just gave you. There's no story. I just gave you the facts.
We need to watch that video that you're saying that you have. By all means, we'll do that. Okay, if you like. Okay. All right,
there's nothing to watch. I mean, it's just public property.
All right.
So I can't believe this has been such an extended conversation here, because Houston PD is usually pretty good about respecting the rights of individuals to be out here on public property.
Yes, sir.
I understand these guys.
Like I said, because like I said, because they called us, we still have to investigate whatever it is that they're asking. All right,
and you just did your investigation?
No, I haven't. I'll tell you right now, I haven't yet. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not running away. I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. And
I'll tell you what too. Okay, because I'm conducting this investigation, I am kind of detaining you for the time being until I finish talking to them. So this is an investigation so far. Okay, sir.
This is like law enforcement 101. What reasonable, articulable suspicion do you have that I have committed or am about to commit a crime?
No, I'm not telling you that.
Okay. Without that, you cannot even sort of detain me, and you know that. Come on, Sarge.
I'll tell you what.
You're killing me here.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's what I'm going to do. Okay.
You're going to go ahead and detain me?
No, I'm going to go ahead and talk to them. Okay.
Okay. So I am not detained. I am or I am not detained.
Until I talk to them, okay, because of where you're at, okay, you are detained for the time being, all right?
All right.
I mean, what's your name, sir?
At this moment, I'm going to go ahead and invoke my right to remain silent.
That's fine, sir.
I want an attorney present during any and all questions.
That's fine, sir.
You cannot access any of my personal property or seize any of my personal property without a warrant.
I'm not, sir. I'm not. I'm not here to do that or nothing like that. All right, sir.
So while I'm standing here detained, can I go ahead and continue to take pictures?
Do whatever you need, sir. Yes, sir. Let me, 4 days. Can you see about the reporting coming to talk to me? I'm out here in front of the property.
On what call?
I'm arrived at 12th house in Lawndale.
Really, you should just cancel the other unit. If you want me to stand here, you said I've been detained, I'll comply. I will stand right here and you can go in there and talk to them. Don't waste the resources of running another unit over here. I know you guys are short-handed.
Well, I tell you what, I am the only supervisor out here, all right? So, I mean, I really can't stay doing an investigation. I'm going to have them do the investigation for me. Okay, sir? I mean, by all means, if you feel that you need to walk, by all means, okay? But at some point,
you've told me I'm detained. I'm going to stand right here.
Listen, can I ask you something? Well, let me go ahead and get that unit to talk to them, okay? But if they tell us any different, I'll come back and I talk to you. All right, sir?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to right here, and then I'm going to walk back down there.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want, sir. Then.
Well, I can't if I'm detained. You've detained me, so I mean, I'm obligated to remain here.
You're not detained anymore. All right? Is that good?
There we go. That's good with me.
All right, sir.
All right, I'm just going to walk. I'm going to walk about 50 yards that way, taking pictures, and then I'm going to start back in that direction.
Fine. But understand, if they tell me something different, I do have to get with you. All right, sir?
That's fine.
All right, when that goes to the dispatch center, they're going to advise security to come find you.
All right. Tell them that you're easy to find. You're out here with red flashing lights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Sarge.
All right. Sarge, I do have an offer. Let me tell you. I went ahead and conducted my little investigation, okay? You haven't broken no law. Like I said, I do still need to talk to you, but you have every right not to tell me your name or nothing like that. I'm not going to ask you to nothing. Okay, sir?
Okay.
All right. And like I said, I tried to explain to you initially the reason why I came up on you, the reason why the department wants us to ID people that videotape the plants, okay? And that's the only reason, all right? Again, that's all. All right, sir, I'm gonna be on my way. Okay, again, we do have to do investigation report, okay, that you were out here videotaping, okay, sir? I mean, whether you want to give us your name, that's fine with me, okay? And
if you need a name to put in there, just put good citizen in there.
That's good enough. Good enough for me, sir.
And by the way,
Right,
their
yes,
property line is actually right where that ditch is.
Okay, we're not going to get into
I've already checked it.
Yes,
I already checked it.
That's
so.
fine, that's fine. All right, sir.
All right.
Good deal.
You be safe, Sarge.
You too. All right, sir. All right.
I'm headed back that way now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I guess they'll call Pasadena PD on me next.
No. We're actually going to do a report. We're actually going to do a report, okay, sir?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I don't know what you're doing a report on, but
okay.
You know, other than information only.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I tried to explain to you the reason why, and that's the reason why.
Okay.
Right? Thank you.
All right, Sarge. Be safe.
Take care.
That is a crime in the state of Texas. This is called a public sidewalk for a reason. The sidewalk belongs to the people. The citizens of the state of Texas does not belong to the U.S. government.
Sure. All right, bye-bye.
Sir, is any reason for this?
I don't know what you're doing here, sir.
I'm just asking. I heard you're videotaping. I'm the officer in charge of this facility. So is there any reason for this?
We have officers in charge of these facilities? I thought they were like postal employees.
Pardon me?
I thought you had postal employees in charge of this place.
Yeah, we are postal employees. Postal employees are in charge of this facility.
Oh, you said you were an officer?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, your employee made a false police report. He called the police and told them that I was on your property. This is a public sidewalk. This sidewalk belongs to me, not the post office.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, but you're going to have a bad day.
Huh?
You're going to have a bad day.
Why?
You can arrest that man right there.
Why is that?
He made a false police report.
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing?
I got it on video.
Okay, what's going on? What can I help you with?
You can't help me with anything.
Okay, what are you doing here today?
Taking pictures.
Okay, is it for a project, for work or something?
I'm taking pictures.
Excellent. Okay, all right.
This guy came out, gave me a rash of shit, followed me.
What'd he say?
Just talking stupid. This same old stupid stuff. You can't take pictures of the post office, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
Okay. Followed me down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I turned around and confronted him. So when he called you guys, he told the dispatcher that I was on postal property. I was not. This sidewalk does not belong to the post office. This sidewalk belongs to me.
Okay. And that's it?
That's it.
Now, what did you want about false report? What were you saying about that?
He called in dispatch and told them that I was on postal property. Said I was up on the driveway over there, and that's not true. My body camera clearly showed that I'm on the sidewalk at all times.
Okay, we'll go talk to him, and that's that. Okay?
Okay.
All right, but you're not leaving, you're not going, you're taking pictures, you're just enjoying your day, right?
Not leaving or going?
You're not coming and going. You're just enjoying your day, taking pictures, right?
I don't know how long I'm going to be here.
Okay. I was just curious. That's all. They called, so I had to ask. That's
Okay.
all.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Officer Huang and Sergeant Davis.
City of Watonga, Oklahoma. How's it going? You doing all right?
What are you taking pictures of?
Oh, just things in the public.
Well, no. Anytime it comes to somebody taking pictures of government buildings, you got to worry about Homeland Security. Because that's what people do when they're going to blow up the buildings. They walk around taking pictures of. You got identification?
Have I done something wrong?
You take my picture if you want to. You can take and put it on record. I don't care. You're taking pictures of government buildings. That's Homeland Security deal.
Okay.
I need to see your identification.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Disobeying a lawful order of a police officer.
What is that? What statute is that?
That's what I asked you for your...
Disband a... Wait, can you say that again? Disband a what?
Disobeying a lawful order of a police officer.
Well, if I haven't committed a crime in the state of Oklahoma, if you can't articulate your reasonable suspicion, I don't have to identify.
You don't? Are you a lawyer?
Am I a lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
I know the First Amendment pretty well, sir.
Do you know Oklahoma state law?
Do you?
Yes.
Have I done something wrong?
Yes, you have. You're taking pictures of buildings.
The First Amendment?
Homeland Security issue.
Okay. The First Amendment says...
You know what happened to the buildings up in New York?
No, I'm not aware with that.
You're not aware of the 3 big buildings that got blown up by airplanes. They took pictures of them just like they're taking pictures now.
Okay.
The Merle building.
Oh, in Oklahoma City?
They took pictures just like you're taking pictures of now.
Okay.
So do you belong to one of them radical groups?
I do not. I'm an American citizen.
You are? American citizens
I'm not a terrorist.
Don't have a problem showing who they are.
Well, I mean, if you know the First Amendment, you know as well as I do that you can film from a public viewpoint on private property. I'm on a public sidewalk, so you can film anything in public view.
You can?
Yes.
But when I think it's a Homeland Security issue, I've got to investigate. That's why I'm asking you for your identification.
Okay. Is that a demand?
Yes.
Officer, am I being detained?
No.
Am I free to go?
You can walk off if you want to.
Okay, then.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
You said I'm free to go.
Okay, you don't want your picture taken? What's that kind of a deal?
Officer, now you're stalking me.
I'm not stalking you. I'm walking down the city street.
Okay, you're walking that way?
I'm walking down the city street.
Officer, what's your name?
Tipley.
Tipley, what's your
I'm
badge
the chief
number?
here. You're taking pictures of my building.
You're the chief. You should be held very, very high.
Why are you
You're
doing
the chief.
That? Why are you taking pictures of government buildings?
You are the chief.
Why are you taking pictures of government buildings?
Because it's the First
Amendment. Are you
Amendment.
planning on blowing them up?
No, I do not. I'm not a terrorist. You are the chief. You are the chief.
Terrorists don't like to take and show their ID either.
No crime, no ID.
Huh?
No crime, no ID.
You don't have an ID?
I'm not driving, am I? Am I required to show it? I'm not driving.
That's right. I got your picture. This building blows up tonight. We'll be coming in.
I'm not a terrorist. No need to worry.
Okay.
Your department knows. Just
Well,
look it up.
I'm not my no. You need to tell me who you are.
You guys know my name.
Tell me who you are.
Sean.
Sean what?
Look it up.
Okay. In about
I'm
2
the guy who
seconds.
films.
In about 2 seconds, if you fail to provide identification or identify yourself, I will place you under arrest. Do you understand that?
For what?
For failing to identify yourself.
For what crime?
Because I already explained that
You're
to you.
going to write me a ticket for public voyeurism?
Nope, I'm investigating a crime into that right now. And I need to identify you. So you can either do that verbally or with your ID.
Okay, so let me articulate this.
Okay.
So, are you getting my ID that will let you decide if this is voyeurism or not?
I get to decide if I'm going to issue you a citation for it or not. How do I know who to issue the citation to if you don't provide your identification?
All right. What's the amount for the ticket?
You got your ID on you.
What's the amount for the ticket?
I don't know what the amount is for the ticket. I'll have to look at that.
Well, I'm doing it under duress, under threat of duress.
Okay.
False arrest.
I haven't arrested you.
You were threatening to.
I haven't not threatened to arrest you.
Put me in jail, right?
Did I say that? At any time did I say I was going to put you in jail? Well, I said if you didn't identify yourself, I place you under arrest.
Okay, so what is arrest?
Arrest?
Put
So
me
if
in
you
jail.
are you going to identify yourself?
It depends on if this is a lawful or...
This is a lawful detention right now.
Okay.
So it is a lawful detention. Right now I'm conducting an investigation for public voyeurism.
Public voyeurism?
Yep. So you have your identification on you.
What am I voyeuring? A building?
You're
that I can
recording
see
the
from
FBI
public?
building and the employees going in and out of there.
Okay.
Okay, are you going to provide your identification? Last time I asked.
You're not going to find anything.
Okay.
You're really not.
Okay.
But this is how you guys operate, so whatever.
Okay.
Hey, is this my ID? Does this work? You know my name, right?
I don't know your name. I know it's Sean. Sean what?
Johnson.
Sean Johnson.
Look it up. I filmed. Okay?
Okay.
You guys know me very well.
I don't know you.
Well, your police department does.
Well, I'm an individual. I work for the police department.
Hi. Your
Sean
badge number,
Johnson.
please?
How do you spell your name?
J-O-H-N-S-O-N. S-E-A-N first.
S-E-A-N?
That's what I said? Yes, S-E-A-N.
Johnson. J-O-H-N-S-O-N?
Yes, and look it up and find out that I have,
Do you have
multiple
a middle
warrants
initial?
or something. Just look it up. I gave you
Do you
my
have a
name.
middle initial?
Yes.
What is it? Okay. All right.
Okay, you want my ID? Nope, I'll give you one. Okay.
Right now you're under arrest. Okay. I give you plenty of opportunity to provide identification. Well, you didn't identify yourself. I'm conducting an investigation for a lawful reason and you failed to provide identification. So tell me who you are. Sean Johnson. That's a pretty common name.
What? That is my name? I'm filming in public and getting it.
You're filming the FBI center. Yeah, but you're...
I would like to address all the First Amendment auditors in this country right now. Thank you for your service. You are really you're heroes. I haven't seen a real hero in a long time. But you First Amendment auditors are inspiring, to say the least. I am in awe of your tenacity. And I'd be happy to have any of you as the President of the United States. Because at least you're out there taking those chances. Because you know at any given time, one of these jacked up ISIS guys, jacked up on SSRIs, armed with tasers and large caliber weapons and badges and patrol cars and fusion centers and all that shit. You thought they were your local PD, but now you're starting to get the idea they're all federalized. They're all part of Homeland Security. Boy, they like to be on that Homeland Security team. They like to be on that FBI team. I showed you not even 0.0001% of the First Amendment audit videos. And that's just what I dug up off of one channel. First 10 videos. He's got hundreds. It's High Desert Community Watch, Bunny Boots. This is News Now Houston. There's hundreds of guys doing First Amendment audits, and they're all getting the same treatment. Look it up on YouTube. Just look up First Amendment audit. Look up High Desert Community Watch. He was the first guy to start doing it. But what I've showed you is a guy who travels the country doing First Amendment audits, man. He was from one corner of the nation to the other. And what you see is the same illegal activity from all these law enforcement officers over your First Amendment right. Not your second. What do you think they're going to do to people when they start going after the Second Amendment? If you see what they're willing to do with a man standing there minding his own business, abiding by the law, standing on public property, photographing people, if you see what they're willing to do then, lie, steal, distort, impugn, what we have in this country is a systematic and systemic problem. But the problem that exists, they're trying to place upon you. Because they are the masters of projection. You might even be inspired now to go start doing First Amendment audits yourself. And I would highly encourage anyone to do so. But remember, don't go alone. Do not go alone. You always have one person covering you with a camera, or you're covering them with a camera. I'm going to start doing First Amendment audits, but I'm going to have no less than 4 people at any given time. This person covers this guy. This guy covers this guy. This guy covers this guy. As you walk away, you leave just like the Army leaves. If you're a command unit or a commando unit and you're fucking retreating, one guy's covering the rest retreat. When they get by him, they tap him on the shoulder and he goes. First Amendment auditors, if I had 2 suggestions, I would like to just say, hey, I've seen all of you say basically the same thing, and we all know that the cops basically say the same thing. They start off with this: may I help you? The first thing you should say is, absolutely. Do you got a camera? Because if you don't have one, we can give you one, man. If you can just get in line with the rest of us and just start fucking videotaping this building right here. That's it. That's the first thing. I want to start and set up a little squad right here where I live, local to me, of First Amendment auditors that will work together. I don't have a camera. Not like that. I got cell phones, but as we see, and as you see, you need a little bit more. So hopefully I'll run into some guys that have good equipment and be able to loan me whatever I need. If you want, at any given time, to be descended upon by a gang of thugs, go videotape a police station, a federal building, a gas refinery, a library, a post office, or even a fire hydrant. But again, you see how hard they come after First Amendment activity. Now, when they get rid of that, which they are doing right now, they are censoring everybody online and everything. They just love censoring people. Now, they don't like cameras. They got cameras on you at all times. They're invading your house. They are spying on you everywhere all the time. But boy, when you break out a camera and point it back at them, they act as though you just pointed a gun at them. So what do you think is going to happen after they have successfully gotten rid of the First Amendment in any direction of the First Amendment? Well, then they're happily going to go after your guns. Now, you think that these cops are going to go door to door to collect your guns? No. Nope. As we see, they are devious as shit. Making up shit, making up charges, and all that stuff. Where do you think that this activity through your justice system as you see it, where do you think that this leads? What logical conclusion do you think it leads to? Peace and paradise. Warfare begets warfare. Peace begets prosperity. And you know what happens during prosperity? When everybody prospers, nobody's breaking the law about nothing, and therefore the system can't make any money. They make money on warfare, whether it's warfare on another country or warfare against the American people. And people, they have already declared war against you. They fired so many damn salvos over your bow that how much more do you need to know that your government is illegitimate, corrupt as hell, and beyond repair? And I could do this for a year straight, and most Americans would just think I'm an agitator. Most Americans would think I'm the terrorist because I said something. Because I said something about it. Just like they show the guys who are doing the films. You're the terrorist. Not us. Don't you know about 9/11? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do know all about 9/11. How about you? Did you look into it any further than your Homeland Security fucking memo? Mr. Stupid Cop? Mr. Stupid Law Enforcement Officer? Mr. Cock-sucking Stupid Law Enforcement Officer, did you look into it any further than CNN? Do you actually know anything about it? Or anything else outside of that blue bubble you live in? See, let me explain something to you. Pretty soon the American people are going to start creating their own fusion centers for government, where we start cataloging everyone. All of you. We're going to find out where you live, where you work, who your kids are, who your wives are, who your girlfriends are, everything. We're going to know where you vacation, everything. One day. If you don't fucking stop and put your fucking bullshit car in reverse and back the fuck up. It's bad enough that we as American citizens are already slaves to debt. But when you add tyranny and injustice and corruption on top of all that, you have yourself a winning formula for a fucking Hitler, you dumb motherfuckers. We keep asking you to be reasonable. We keep asking you just to read the fucking Constitution. Just learn a little bit of this law that you are supposedly enforcing yourself. But as we see, you don't want to know the law. The law makes no difference to you. The only thing that makes a difference to you is whether you go home safe or not. Fucking bitch-ass pussies. 26th most dangerous job in America, ranking right up underneath barmaids. The most dangerous job in America, a roofer. Next time you fucking dickwads get out of your patrol car and you see a fucking roofing truck, I expect your asses to walk up and shake that roofer's hand and tell him what a fucking hero he is. How you wish you could be a real man like him. One day enough Americans will wake up to your fucking bullshit that your bullshit won't matter anymore. One day. One day. One day Americans will want to be Americans again. Well, I said that wrong. One day the residents of the United States of America will want to become Americans again. And it's unfortunate that all of you guys that served in the military and served in the government and served law enforcement and served the justice centers have to be ISIS in America. It really is unfortunate, because that's exactly what you are. You might as well just start raising the ISIS flag in front of your government buildings. Or you can create your own flag. But one thing you can't do is use the American flag. That's just as big of a spit in my face as anything else. You law enforcement operations that raise a flag in front of your building every day. That's an assault. I'd rather you raise an ISIS flag or a pirate flag. That'd make more sense. I could respect that. What I can't respect is you hiding behind a dream, a fiction. Because you're not Americans. None of you. You're un-Americans. You're something else. I don't care if you spent fucking time in Afghanistan. I don't care if you spent time in Iraq. I don't care. We weren't supposed to be there anyway. Too bad you didn't figure that out before you joined. And it's too bad you ain't figured nothing out. Nothing. You ain't figured a fucking thing out except how corrupt you can get. How corrupt you can be. That's what you figured out. You figured out that you can be as oppressive and corrupt as you want to be, as long as you look out for the oppressors and the corruption. That's who you protect. That's what you protect. That's what you serve. Because you don't serve me. You don't serve anybody in my community. You don't serve nothing except yourself donuts. You serve Satan. And I think you're all a bunch of fucking bullshit. And I think any of you that thinks you're a fucking hero, I can promise you, you're a zero. Good night, everybody. I'm getting off of here. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee and something to drink. Y'all have a good evening. If you got to work tomorrow, please don't work too hard. But I know you're going to work hard because you're an American. And I appreciate everybody showing up. I really do. Thank you.